Coming up on the Rawder Kidula Show.
And the rest is history.
No, we want the rest. There's no history. We want the rest.
I used to send WhatsApp messages.
Yeah.
She can answer after 1 week or 2 weeks.
Now we come back. Ignoring the apostle.
And then I remember, maybe this could be true, because I had written some note a year ago that God give me a husband
Who is?
who is born again, a man
Really?
after your heart.
Even people who are not serious with God still want a man after God's heart.
Can you just imagine? Can you imagine that? I went to to custom make my wedding gown.
Yes.
So
Locally?
yeah. So I went somewhere in Gara, and they did something. You know? So we literally had to.
Oh, so you had bought clothes.
Had bought clothes. It was 7 months. When I looked at the cloth hanging there, I screamed. It's a whole process. It was very horrific. But even in this morning and screaming, 1 month later, I find out that I'm pregnant. And I remember one day I was coming with my colleagues from Mombasa, and he was coming to meet me. And I looked at the way he was dressing, and I told my colleague that you are going to meet my boyfriend. I told him I've not seen him. Because the way he was dressed, I had to ignore him.
And most of the time we do it when we are calm in the morning and we are driving. And we're driving to work. That's when now we start addressing issues. Because that time, if anyone wants to shout, he can shout. And we embrace each other. And we go back to normal.
Most people don't look at compatibility when they get married.
That's true.
It's the elephant in the room.
What is
It is the elephant in the room.
This is the Rodah Kidula Show.
Hi and welcome. This is the Rodah Kidula Show. Welcome back. If this is what you do every Monday, watch these inspiring stories on marriage. My name is Rodah Kidula Kedaha. Always a joy to bring you these inspiring stories. My work here is to expose the good side of marriage. Good doesn't mean perfect. Good does not mean there are no challenges, but there are healthy marriages out here that need to be exposed for the glory of God. So thank you for being part of this community. I hope that today's conversation will make you a better spouse or a better spouse to be. Or a better Christian, whichever way it goes. Well, today, as you can see, we are in a different location thanks to Age Consult. Watch out this video to know more about Lydia Karimi.
Hi, I am Lydia Karimi. I'm a counseling psychologist and a marriage and family therapist. Welcome to Age Consult Limited, where we offer therapy services ranging from couple therapy, premarital counseling, individual therapy, family therapy, mental health group therapies, workshops, and trainings. We talk, you heal, I don't judge. Visit us at the Spa Mall, Vicar Road. Our offices are on the second floor, room number 18 or S21. We look forward to seeing you. Get our contacts on the screen. See you soon.
Yes, so if you need therapy, marriage therapy, individual, you can even come here with your teenager. I saw that happening. You can come here as a family and get counsel from Lydia. Thank you so much for allowing us to be here today. And also JK Studios, thank you so much for recording this. If you need photography and videography services, please consider JK Studios. They do an amazing job. Check them out on social media, and you can also reach out to the number below. Well, today I have another interesting, amazing couple. I know they are because look at how they're looking. Look at them. When people come here matching, me I'm happy. They make me happy. And on this show, people introduce each other. That's why I'm avoiding your names. I think you should go first. Who is this beautiful lady?
This beautiful lady is Trixye Award. Kavai. Kavai is me.
Oh.
Yeah. I've been married to her for the last This is the 9th. We are clocking the 9th year.
Oh,
Yeah, by the grace of God.
2016.
Yeah, 2016.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Tell us more. What does she do? What does she like?
She's a lawyer
Uh-huh.
by profession. She works for an oil company. She's the most jovial person I know.
Oh.
And one thing I've learned about her is that she derives joy from helping others. So her joy is when others around her are happy.
Yes.
Yeah.
That makes her happy too.
Yeah, that is my
What's her
wife.
personality?
She's an extrovert.
Really?
She's an extrovert.
You know, when you
But
walked here, I was thinking you're the loud one. You have this very quiet woman.
No, I'm the most cool one.
Really?
I'm the very cold sometimes.
Oh.
But you see, that balances us.
Yes.
And she compliments me very well.
Yes.
Yeah. I thank God for her.
Wow. That's good to know. Introduce this gentleman.
This is my husband. And my priest, my head, is called Joseph Ongere Kavai. He's a counselor by profession, a pastor, our father, our daddy.
Oh.
That's how we call him. Yeah. His personality is a combination of melancholic and phlegmatic.
Oh.
I guess.
Yeah.
Because he's a little bit quiet, but then around the people that he loves, he can talk
very
and
open.
communicate, but very silent also. Yeah.
When he wants, why are you looking at her like it's not you she's describing? I would like to know how you two met. Who saw who first?
I was called for a youth meeting. That was in Winners Chapel, Mombasa Road. So the person who forced me to go to Winners was also, we used to work with him and Morris and your husband. That was Humphrey.
Oh,
And he
I
tells
know Humphrey.
and he tells me that we have a meeting in Mombasa Road. That is a youth meeting, because personally I'm one of those people that had gone through it with relationships.
Oh.
So my way of enjoying on weekend was that after work, if I'm not going anywhere, Friday I stock my fridge. I stay in the house up to Monday morning. I leave the house very early so that I can go to work.
Yes.
Yeah, so Humphrey calls me and he tells me, we have this meeting and it's a youth meeting.
Yes.
You never know what can happen. Those were the words. So we went there and after the meeting, Winners, they gave us flyers to go and distribute. I think it was in town. So as we were sent to Mudurwa.
Yes.
And by God's grace, I was seated in a bus because they have buses. And the one I was seated, everyone was running away. So even the pastor came and I was sitting in the front seat. He said, no, I'm not sitting there. Yeah, so she said she looked around and she just left the bus that she was in. And she told herself that this bus has a lot of young people.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Then she came and sat next to me.
Wow.
That is how we began talking. And funny thing is that day, I spoke everything that I'm not supposed to.
What did you say that you're not supposed to say?
We just got the conversation talking. Of course, she engaged the conversation. How are you? And I saw an opportunity. This one has greeted me.
Yeah. This one has come.
Like he just
Like
trusted
Ruth.
me. He just trusted me. I don't
Yeah.
know how, but we met. Then we felt like we have known each other for quite some time. You know the way you meet some
Connection.
people, and then you just start telling them a lot about yourself
Yes.
and your family and stuff. So it was just. But even the most divine thing that
Yeah.
we can testify of, and what we call. Divine orchestration by heaven. If you have heard that term,
Yes.
the way heaven can just orchestrate things and then
Yes.
they come to meet. So what happened is that I was in a particular bus, and then I just looked at the bus and said, "There's a lot of young people here."
You were
Let me
not
just-
young, the two of you.
No, we were just young. It's just that
Right, yeah.
we were seeing a lot of teenagers.
Oh,
and
teens,
so I was like, I don't want this bus. Let me go for the other
Yeah.
bus. I saw a lot of, at least a little
Yeah,
bit of mature.
mature.
Because I was already at the Kenya School of Law. I'd graduated from University of Nairobi. I was Kenya School of Law. So I wanted people of my age, like maybe people that are finished or working class and all that. So I ran after this, but I can see it leaving, but I'm just saying, like, stop. I need to go with you guys. But I was already in another bus because Winners, they have several buses. So the driver stops because they could see me. But the only seat that was available was the seat next to him. Because now he was big and people were saying, I can't sit next to you. So for me, I just came and just fit very comfortably. And then as the bus started moving, I asked him, is it your first time? And then we started talking. I told him, this is my church actually. For him, it wasn't his church. He was just invited. And I told him, this is my church, but I rarely come for this evangelism and youth forum. So my sister really pushed me. That's another divine thing. He was being pushed by a friend, and I was being pushed. My sister, in fact, gave me an ultimatum that you need to be there. Today, I'm dragging you out of the house. So we didn't know that was just God in action. So when we sat, we talked, we went, distributed the flyers. We were just talking about ourselves and a lot of things. And then from there, of course,
we took something in a kibanda.
In Mudurwa together with those cups, you know, all the cups, metallic cups. We took together tea there. We were laughing, and I think, of course, by then, what was rolling in his mind, like, hey, this lady, how can she even be taking tea with me like this and all that? But one thing that I've always practiced in my life is humility. And you know, don't just judge. You just never know. Things like that. There are things that I roll and I ran with. So I was like, oh, he looks like a nice guy. But then we didn't talk much from there. So we exchanged contacts, and then we started talking later when he texted me like, hi, this is so-and-so, we met. And the rest is history.
No, we want the rest. There's no history. We want the rest.
I used to send WhatsApp messages. She can answer after 1 week or 2 weeks.
Now we come back. Ignoring the apostle.
Of course, by then, I had a plan to settle. That's for sure. But then you see the way sometimes you are in the phase in your life that you have many people that you are talking to, and you are just trying to select who among these people is the person that I really want, because I never wanted to date many people or even commit to any relationship or say yes to any relationship before I'm actually sure that by the time I say yes to you, I don't want to waste your time. I just want us to get rolling and get going. So I remember I had quite a number of people in the list, and he was
this
not
woman
even
is blessed. You know how women are going through dry seasons.
And he was not even in my mind at all. So I remember a friend of mine who we were working with in a law firm here in Westlands. So we used to work together, and she was very spiritual. I used to admire her level of spirituality then, because me, I wasn't that spiritual then. I was just, a church goer. Like you just be going to church because people on Sunday go to church, but I didn't know, I wouldn't say that I knew Christ at a personal level then, because right now I know the difference. So I was just talking to her about my relationship. Then I told her that this is, I have this person, I have this person, I have this person. I have this one, but I'm always ignoring because I don't even see if we are going anywhere. So that is him now.
And I've just met him.
Then she asked me a few questions, but I believe that the way God always just sends the right people in your life. And then she told me, you see that guy that you are saying is like this, but at least you go to church together. He comes to church, he looks for you. That is the person you should be looking for, because his heart is in the things of God, not these other people that are drinking alcohol and whatever. Because in our most of the time you might find yourself in a cycle of people that maybe are taking a lot of alcohol. They are not really lovers of God. And then I remember, by the way, this could be true, because I had written some note a year ago that God give me a husband who is born again, a man after your heart.
Even people who are not serious with God still want a man after God's heart.
Can you just imagine? Can you imagine that? But anyway, we all want that, because we know when it comes to commitment, you just need somebody who is not going to make your life a living hell, but somebody who will streamline your life. I had an inner desire to serve God on another level, but I didn't know when to start. I didn't know that marriage will, get me there. So I really wanted somebody that will push me. So I said, maybe let me try. This lady, the way she prays, let me just listen to her. Maybe she's really she's really, you know, God's mouthpiece at this point to speak to me over my relationship. So I remember that day I actually texted him and I told him, you see that date you've been asking me out. Can we meet today? Are you available? So we meet in town. And that was the beginning. Yeah.
So it is this lady who actually pushed you.
Yes.
To the right
I believe
direction.
God used her.
Used her, yeah.
And I always believe that God uses people. So sometimes it's just good to also be sensitive, to give it room when God is speaking.
Yeah.
So I said, let me just text him and tell him, can we meet? Because at that time, I can assure you I was very confused. I didn't even know who is right. And I had some lawyer, some doctor. And I have this guy who looked like...
What was he doing for a living?
He was
a sound technician?
Electrician.
Electrician, yeah.
So he did electrical engineering, but now even at a diploma level, not degree. So I was like, even that is one of my considerations.
Yes,
and me, I'm here, you can imagine. And I'm just saying this because I know it's going to help somebody out there, especially in selection. That for me, I was like, I just need a lawyer like me, or maybe somebody who is educated within my standard. I've just graduated, first of all, from University of Nairobi. And you know, you can imagine that. I want somebody of my class. And God is trying to tell me, no, that is not for you. You need to start from somewhere. Because also our destinies are different. In as much as this is the societal expectation, but then sometimes you look at what is God's expectation and what is God's will. So for me, I think at that point it was a turning point. Then I realized this guy is just good. His personality is very good. We are combining well as we continue.
People have been voted as governors because of dimples.
So I should stand next.
So that was it. And then now we started just talking, and then we built it to a more serious thing. And that was it. And now I cut off every other person because now I was focusing on this main person.
She invited me for a date. I told her that night, that evening, I don't want a girlfriend, I want a wife. So if you want us to continue playing around, then I don't have time for that. I think that
because you had been heartbroken many times before. How do you trust again? Maybe a man has been heartbroken in these streets. They are wondering, why should I trust another woman?
I think it's how you begin to process the information you have. Because it can have a negative or positive impact, whereby you may become a bad person or a good person. So I think for me, I found someone whom I connect very well. And she was easy to trust because she was also so open. If there is anyone that is so open, that can tell you everything. Even if she gets 1,000, sit at have 1,000. What do we do? So she gave me that window to be able to trust again. But it will be more difficult when you get someone that Kifika Friday, the phone is off.
The phone is off.
And she's telling you she slept very early.
And we all know her. So we have now connected. When is it official that now you are in a relationship? And what makes it official? Did he ask you?
Yes, he did.
I did officially.
He did officially ask me that, would you be my girlfriend? Of course, for something serious. Because it's not just about me dating, but we are dating because we are looking at marriage. So it was very clear because even for me, I'm a type of person that I was really somebody who structures my life. I know that many are the plans of man, but the will and the purpose of God has to be fulfilled. But then the Bible also tells us that we need to have the plan. So I always write a plan, and then I tell God I commit the plan. So I had committed that I want to settle down by this time. So now I have a serious person. So now that I have a serious person, is what are we supposed to do next? So I entered and I accepted the relationship, knowing that we are ending into marriage. There's nothing else. We are going all the way. So by the time I said yes, I even told him, even me, I'm very serious. I'm not joking. I'm not here for a ride. I'm not here to tell you that we are dating yet. I'm not ready. You know the way some people date and then they are like, I'm still not ready to settle. Then what is the essence of dating? If you are not ready to settle down?
Yes.
Because it has to have an end or a purpose at the end of the day. So yeah, from there I think we dated like 3 months.
Yeah, 3 months.
Before we got married.
I told her
now
I
that's the
took
shocker.
time to set the wedding date.
You
the
did
dowry
it for
date.
3 months.
Yeah.
Like,
It's because
we knew each other, but now
for how
for like
long?
a year.
For how long had you known each other? A
For
year.
like a year
like-
plus.
no, I think it was a year.
A
It was
year.
a year.
Yeah, a year.
And then he asks you to be his girlfriend.
Yes, but the year was just chatting.
Chatting.
You know, just the
Coffee.
normal, you know,
Not
like
that serious.
we are just friends. We are. Everyone is open to do whatever
They
they want
want.
to do with their life. Because remember, the commitment of courtship now comes with you have to cut off. And you have
Yes.
to know that you are focusing on this one person. Now the commitment, after 3 months after that commitment,
Yeah.
we were already planning everything. Because I think you engaged me in April. This
Yeah.
was January.
Yeah.
When the commitment came, it was around January.
January.
Then April, he came
Engagement.
and engaged me on my birthday.
June
By
18.
then, my birthday was yesterday.
Oh, happy
So
birthday.
he came and engaged me. And then now we planned
It was in June
18th, the dowry.
I paid the dowry. August 20th, wedding.
Yes.
Were there any challenges in that process?
There were
lot.
always challenges.
A lot.
Many of them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because we come from 2 different backgrounds
And community.
and communities.
Oh,
And that time, I think.
Luo, Award,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
I'm from Vihiga.
Vihiga,
Maragoli.
Luya,
Yes.
Maragoli.
Kavai.
Yeah.
Yes. I thought these are friends. Vihiga and Kisumu, it's like 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's 30 minutes
Yeah,
actually.
these are our
In
neighbors.
fact, if you are
For
driving
sure.
a few minutes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even less.
So
Yeah,
what
so-
is the challenge?
So there were challenges. She was one when we started dating seriously.
Yeah.
She was transferred to work in Mombasa.
Oh,
So now that was a distance
yeah,
relationship,
long distance.
and she used. I was forced to go to Mombasa to engage
Every
her,
weekend.
and every weekend to
weekend.
see her
Yeah.
and come back. It was too hectic. I remember the time we were paying. She came for introduction to our place. She had to travel from Mombasa to Kisumu.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I remember that time when I was sending her back to Mombasa, she was crying.
Why are you crying?
I was
Because
in
you
love.
You are still in love. You are in love. You are going to Mombasa. You are crying.
I don't know, but I think the time I was just dating, I was just very emotional about a lot
Yeah.
of things. So my emotions were just on another level because I'm really an emotional person. But I believe that there is a reason why I was the way I was that time. Because even me, I could not understand myself. I was just crying throughout.
You miss him.
I was just now those were the thoughts, and I was like, why should we? We should just end all these processes and just
Get married. Yeah.
already. And the processes are becoming so difficult
Yeah.
because I had to go to introduction to their place, expecting that I'm just going to meet the brothers and the sisters, and somehow I met the whole village.
The
Like there was a
parents.
lot of people. The parents are late.
All my parents are late.
So by the time I was coming,
Yeah.
the mom had just died a year before. So like because he's the last born, I think I didn't get the opportunity to meet, the parents. So anyways, we get there, it is hectic, I'm all emotional because there's a lot of things that are going on.
Yeah.
I'm here working, trying to organize for a wedding. It's a lot. And then now from our side, my parent, I was raised by my mom, so my parent already has a lot of expectations.
Oh, yes.
And you know, Luos, we don't also make it very easy because we want big things. So it was just a lot. It was a lot to take. So she has named a price and she's not going down.
1 million.
1 million.
Dowry price.
What were you doing for a living?
Electrician.
In fact, wacha tuseme the way it said, fundi was steamer.
Fundi wa stima.
And it wasn't giving me that much.
That much.
Yeah, for sure.
That
But I
time.
was committed to the process.
Yeah.
And I knew. I remember when I went to introduce myself to the mother, she was in Mombasa.
Yeah.
So I went personally,
He
alone.
went alone. I wasn't there.
Oh, we
Yeah.
have so much in common. We'll talk after this. I also took myself to my father-in-law. Introduced myself. When I share like this, people are like, Rodah, you should come to the show. One day.
So when the mother asked me, young man, you said you want to marry my daughter.
Yes.
I said, yes. How ready are you? I see you. There is the dowry, and then after there is the wedding. Don't you think this is too near? We can postpone it. I told her no.
Yes.
I think I have capacity to do everything by myself. And I have a family that will support me. And I remember during our wedding planning, of course after dowry payment, our wedding planning, it was, we just wanted to have a normal wedding.
Yeah.
Because now, you trust people, they will support you. That is the time the people that they will not pick your clothes. I remember we never had a wedding committee. For us, we never had a wedding committee. I remember the fundraise we did. It was me and my brother and her, and that one we raised 40,000. So
this is for the wedding.
For the wedding, and we have a budget of around 250 to 300,000.
Wait. Where did we find the 1 million? we ran to the wedding.
It skipped.
Did you help him pay that?
Okay, what happened is that we negotiated. One of the principles that I had from even the time we were dating is that I can never pay my dowry because I'll never forgive myself.
And I even told her no.
And I always wanted something straight that doesn't have anything that is, for lack of a better term, clandestine. Anything that is, one day people will question. So I always told him, even if you have 50,000, we will just take it. I'm the one who will manage my people and tell them that is your capacity. So I never supported him in anything during the dowry. For the wedding, of course, I had friends and they contributed for me. So I ensured that I helped out because wedding, we are not restricted to come in as ladies. But for the dowry, I must really thank the family because the family really came in. He had savings. He had already saved up to some amount. But the family, because he has big brothers, he's the last one. They came in, they supported him. One was like, take this ngombe. One was like, I support you.
Actually,
with
it's
this
not
amount.
even about being a last one. He has supportive
siblings, yes. So for me, I always say that, like for their family, even for the wedding, everything, they came out in numbers and they really supported him during that season. So I didn't have to lift a finger or do anything. And they were able, but of course we didn't raise the 1 million. We agreed at an amount. So of course I had to go back, talk to my mom, talk to her nicely and tell her this is what we can raise. And we raised whatever we had and she accepted, we talked well and that was it. So it just went well because the family now came in, supported, and now I also had to manage because sometimes also what happens in dowry payment is that for the ones we have attended, because we have had the privilege in our marriage to also best couple, because people look at our marriage like we admire you and all that. So sometimes when you go for the dowry negotiations, you realize that the ladies are not just talking. They are not defending.
Supporting.
They are not supporting. They are not defending the man. They are not talking on his behalf like, I know his capacity. Guys, don't go down that road. His capacity, he can't manage this. It's good that when you go to your parents as a lady, tell them the capacity of that person so that they will not over-expect what, they are not like, these celebs. If you are marrying somebody who is not a celeb, you are not expecting choppers and Porsche on the runway and all that, and 100 Prado. So we just did something simple. In fact, it was just me and him in an attire. Something very simple, invited very few people, just close family. And that was it. So, and the family supported him. We raised whatever. My mom agreed.
How many?
I'm come from a family of 9.
All the 8 came?
Yeah, except one who is in US.
Wow.
Yeah, but everyone came and they also supported him. They brought ngombe, kwa lori, from Vihiga.
5
and
cows.
Money. And money. So that one happened so well. And we thank God for the supply and the support. So at that point, we already knew God is into this thing.
Yes.
God is into this thing. He is bringing all the support that we need. We were happy. And that chapter was closed now. We were left with only 1 month to our wedding. Because this is June 18th and August 20th is our wedding.
Married now officially.
Officially now. So there is all the processes, including the AG process. whatever. It was a lot.
That is a lot.
Yeah, selecting a venue and all that.
When you are planning to get married, what are your expectations on marriage?
Of course, one thing I believe, I was brought up in a good family system. So, and our parents always emphasized on the good marriage and good family. And so my expectations were to have a good marriage the same way my parents had.
Yeah.
I cannot say that they did not have problems, but I saw a good picture of a good marriage.
Yeah.
And I believe one thing that I always learned from my parents is that we are not marrying to beat or mistreat women, but rather take care of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, expectations of marriage before we get there. What were you expecting
A
will
peaceful
happen?
marriage. One was, I just wanted a peaceful marriage
Yeah.
because I didn't come from a background where my parents had a peaceful marriage. That is the truth. My parents didn't have a peaceful marriage. They
Yeah.
ended up parting ways,
Yeah.
and we really suffered. So I was really looking for a peaceful marriage, and because I realized that without God, that marriage cannot stand.
Yeah.
I just wanted a marriage that is based on a godly background.
Yeah.
And starting with God was very important for me because I knew that if I don't have God, this marriage will also break. Remember, there are also patterns you see in your home. And you know that even me, I'm not secluded because this is my bloodline. I've seen this thing happen in our place. Marriages are not standing. People are leaving marriages, people are parking and all that. So I was already with that mindset and I really wanted peace in my marriage, and I really wanted God at the center of it. So if there is one conversation that we kept on talking about and we kept on working on, and I remember even because he was coming from another church, that was Salvation Army, and then me, Winners Chapel.
Yes.
So he said, I'm not coming to Winners Chapel, I'm the man. Then I also said, I don't want to go to Salvation Army. But we have not talked about now that challenge.
Yes, that's another challenge.
I think it's something we didn't talk about.
Yeah, it's really big.
But it's big because I know a lot of people go through this.
Yes.
So
It's actually one of the problems couples will face when they are now integrated.
So I had to go to somebody like elderly. I like doing that a lot. Anytime I face something, I go to somebody who is elderly, who has experienced something, and then I ask them, there is this challenge. Then the person told me, there's no problem. You know, when you go to Salvation Army, you will always be feeling like, you know, you are pushed, and you'll never be happy there. If you take him to Winners, he will also feel like, amekaliwa. You know, amekaliwa. And people will tell him, umekaliwa. And he's the man. So now he told me, do this, the both of you. Leave your churches and look for a neutral church. So now that's another thing. So why that was important before we even settled, it was because we wanted to ground ourselves in Christ and soak our marriage inside Christ. And me, I knew that if God is inside my marriage, because yes, I came from a broken home and all that, but I know that if God is inside, mine will stand.
Yes.
Mine will stand. I don't want to know what other people are experiencing. So anyway, in a nutshell, peace and most important, a godly marriage was important. So we worked on that. And we kept on talking about the fact that we need spiritual mentorship and we need to belong. So we left the churches and then we joined one church where we wedded there. And we had a pastor.
The wedding happened in the new church.
In the new church. And the pastor really embraced us, even as a young couple.
At that time she was in Mombasa, so she told me, look for a church.
When I come, I'll visit.
We can be part of. So I thank God for our spiritual father that time. He guided us well. Gave us the right mentorship. And I think it was my brother who told me, don't look for a big church. Look for a church that is starting community setup whereby it would be easy for you to access the pastor when you have a problem. But not a church whereby you'll have now to book appointment. And that one really helped us a lot. And I think the grounding we got there is what pushed me into ministry. Because now I went there and I found a father and I was with him everywhere. And the ministry just came. Just like that.
Your wedding happens. You said in?
August 20th.
August 2016. 2016. If you were to go back, what would you do differently?
I felt disappointed with my wedding gown. You know, as you watch weddings,
Yes.
yeah, if it is about the wedding
And
itself,
as you mature.
and as you
Yes.
mature, you realize, I messed up.
I messed up. What did you do?
I went to to custom make my wedding gown.
Yes.
So
Locally?
locally,
Mhm.
yeah. So I went somewhere in Gara, and they did something, you know. So we literally had to undo,
Yeah.
you know, and
Undo and redo.
and
redo.
do a style that I didn't want.
Oh.
But then now, so we said like maybe when we get to 10 years, we might just revenge
Please.
by doing
Next
something
year.
with a very elegant
Gown.
gown.
So
Because
you didn't
I
like the
felt so
style?
I didn't like the style because what the
What
fundi
you
did-
ordered versus what
exactly.
was
So
delivered.
what the fundi did is that the picture it was just bad. She made something here with some kamba
Yeah.
and then put something purple.
It was purple.
I was just wondering
And
what
the
is
gown
going
is
on
white.
when I went there. I was like, what is going on? This is not my gown. And then now he's like, we can't change it, Nini. So I'm with my sister, and my sister is like, you know what? Let's just fold the purple thing inside. Let them remove. Then because when they remove it, the top is tattered completely.
Yes.
So they folded it, and I had to wear a wedding gown that the whole of this place is showing. So now I had to put a hairstyle that had
Covers.
to cover my back.
Yeah.
People didn't know why I chose that hairstyle, but it was not because I wanted it. It was
Yeah.
because I wanted to cover my back.
So
because
that
my
the
gap
pastor
was
has a
open.
place to touch.
Exactly. Exactly. Can you imagine? So I got so disappointed. It's something that, and I think also his suit wasn't very good.
The belt.
I think we were not very keen with
Oh,
dressing.
yeah.
We were not very keen.
Yeah.
We feel that is something that anytime we watch our wedding
video.
video and photo, we are always like, no. This shouldn't
would have
have
looked
happened.
better.
We should have done better because now we know better. But I think now, even with the people that we best couple, we always ensure they have the best, especially for me. I
Yeah.
always tell the brides, please, it is only one day. Take your
Yes.
best, look your best, because it will never happen again.
Yeah.
And even if it happens again, it will never be the same like the
same,
first time.
yeah.
So just do your best and go for what you want, not what somebody tells you. Because
Yeah.
most of the time you will listen to another person, then it goes wrong. And now we were working with limited resources. So when even this happened, there is no way in which we could buy another wedding gown at that time. We didn't have the resources.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, we'll manage. But I didn't feel the confidence.
The confidence,
In as much as I was
yeah.
smiling, but I didn't feel the confidence of this is. If you look at some of my photos, one of them I was literally
Lifting
most of the
this
time
part.
lifting this part, most of the time. So it was horrific, but
You got married
I
anyway.
got married anyway, and I was happy. I mean, there's that time you just tell yourself, I'm going out there.
At the end of the day.
I'm going to be happy.
Yeah.
I will not allow this dress to ruin.
mess or
yeah,
ruin
but it was
the day.
beautiful anyway. It's just that it wasn't what I wanted.
You wanted.
Yeah, I wanted something a Cinderella, something very nice, but it never went that way.
When we look at the positive, you got married, you got a husband,
Yes.
you got a wife. Yes.
That was
That's
now
true.
that was now the consoling part.
Yeah. How was your first year?
Our first year, very challenging.
Was she
rough.
still in Mombasa?
No, she
No,
came
now I'd
to
moved.
Nairobi.
Ah,
The job was over,
okay.
and it was challenging because that time I was working freelance as an electrician,
Then I don't have a
and
job.
she has no job. So
And you two sat down and said, let's get married.
I think that time it was like God was trying to neutralize us to be on the same level and speak one language.
Building.
Yeah.
And that time also the first baby comes in, and she was the emotional imbalance and the hormonal imbalance that comes with that. So she was so clingy. I remember, but she got a job when she was very heavily pregnant.
You've taken it so fast.
That
How
time
are you surviving fast? You have no
of course,
stable
with
job.
one job here and there
Yeah.
from what I was working on.
Yeah.
We get a besides also there was some savings, so she was working.
Yeah.
So we used to balance, and it was helping us, but it was so hectic
Yeah.
to manage.
It was not enough.
It wasn't enough.
Of course.
And then
Because-
you decide to get pregnant.
And that time the baby is coming, we have to move to a bigger house.
Wait, why did you decide to get pregnant? Well, the two of you, what you have is not enough.
Is what we wanted that time.
Oh.
Is what we wanted.
You actually
that time.
planned for the baby.
Yeah, we wanted a baby that time, and so our plan was that we get babies and focus on our careers and our lives.
That was the reasoning behind it.
Yeah, the reasoning behind.
No matter where we are, let's get babies.
Yeah.
For us, our plan in life was just we get going. Like nothing
we go.
should stop
Nothing
us.
is stopping us.
And that's how even when we started ministry, it's the same thing, but we'll get there. But us, we are always, let's just get going. As we plan things, let's just get, God will provide. God will help us. God will get there.
Yeah.
You know? So we were always just working on everything, moving to songe to tuendelee, you know?
Yeah.
So that's how we have always worked on. We've always worked on things. So we were not afraid of anything, though sometimes we were in debts and whatever, but we were just like, one day it will end.
Yes.
Of course, the story now is very different, but then we were just living.
Yeah,
And I think
a day at
a time, the way it comes. And then, you know, for I think for the both of us, I would say more of me, but we had also gone through life, the rough part of life. So you are not even afraid of going through a rough time, you know. Me, I was raised in a very small family, and you know, we sold nyanya in Kitungu at a point, you know, in Kisumu. Yes. And still had to study, and you can see where I got to. Yeah. So I'm never afraid to any challenge. Even as we go through marriage, I always say, even when we go down, we will just rise again. Anyhow it comes. I've faced both, you know. You know the way Paul says, I've gone through hunger and also plenty and whatever. So we were never afraid of what would come, but we trusted God in the whole process.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So the cringy pregnant woman you're living with, how are you surviving?
Yeah, I managed. Many people thought that it was a boy, but it was a girl.
Because I was very
clinging
to him.
At that time, we have
you're clinging on him.
A lot.
Oh.
He can't even go to the shop.
I must take her everywhere I'm going. And the days I was forced to go and take her from work.
Really?
Yeah.
It was a girl.
It was a girl. It's just that we didn't know. It was the first time. But for sure it was a girl.
The baby comes. How is that process for you?
We did not know much about babies and giving birth. In fact, I think our firstborn came through CS. And we actually believe if we had the knowledge or had someone to guide us through, she couldn't have gone through CS because we rushed to the hospital. As we just saw, she was everywhere, and we rushed to the hospital. And nowadays, you know, nowadays, you know, hospitals they will jump into any opportunity they get to make more money.
Yes.
So we went there, and she gave birth to a hospital here on Thika Road, a private hospital. And I think they rushed for CS, which wasn't a good option for us. But before that, this baby, there is a time we went to Jacaranda Hospital, and the baby was not okay.
Oh.
So we got there.
Bleeding.
She was bleeding. We got there, and the doctors tell us that we need to remove the baby and put in an incubator. Because
how far?
It was around 7 months.
Oh.
So she told me, Sitat, you see I'm fine.
Yeah.
And nothing is
If you
happening.
don't see me drop
If I
down,
don't fall down or
we are
anything,
continuing carrying this.
don't bother.
The
That's what
doctor
I
has said the baby is not okay.
Yeah, it's crazy faith.
She
I
told
told him,
me,
if you don't see that I've collapsed down,
Yeah.
I will carry this baby to full term. And
And you
actually,
didn't collapse.
we defied the doctor's report.
Yeah.
We went home. I think by then, I always say that Jesus seated at the right hand of the Father was saying, I'm proud of you.
Don't do
I'm
that
proud
at
of
home
you.
unless you have such
Anyway, you have to. Okay, sometimes even when you do that, you are afraid also. There's the inner fear that or something will happen.
You do it afraid.
But then you keep on speaking the positive, like, that's not my portion in Jesus' name. It is not going to happen. I'm not meant to do this. I'm not meant to go through this. But anyway, in a nutshell, I was bleeding. We are rushing to the hospital. They've said we are seeing it's a how is it called? Preterm labor and things like that. The cervix is beginning to open and things like
The
that.
baby is not positioned
The
well.
baby looks like he's not positioned. There was a lot.
Yeah.
She's breathing
The
very fast.
placenta is
Something
lying
is
low.
not very okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, we hear, okay, we agree, doctor. Thank you very much. God bless you. We go home. And
Let's
I told
go
him, if I
discuss.
don't collapse.
We will come back.
Oh.
That's how we waited for
And
the
now
baby.
Tiffany just comes right on
Yeah.
time. And she's here now 8 years down the line.
8 years down the line. Oh, because she came immediately
Yeah.
after
Yeah,
marriage. Wow, that's a testimony. Because
is.
sometimes actually just carrying a baby to term,
It is
even
not easy.
conceiving.
It is not easy.
Is-
Everything
yeah.
works with faith.
I usually tell people conceiving is not everything.
Yeah.
Because what I've seen,
Yeah.
the process, carrying
Yes.
for 9 months and also giving birth
Yes, and
is just
parenting
another
for 8
battle.
years.
And parenting.
For 8 years.
In fact, giving birth, you don't know if you're going into that hospital and coming back alive or with the child.
Yeah.
So there are two different things. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a testimony. Now you've been married for 9 years, right? What has been your greatest challenge in marriage? You people of faith, an apostle. Eh?
Okay, challenges have been a lot. Challenges have been a lot. And you can never miss, as you said, you can never miss challenges. But
Yeah.
there are greater ones that shook us, you know, that really made us to say, is it that one of us is going to leave?
Yeah.
Because those moments, I believe, like attacks every other marriage.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we can't pretend that there's no time that somebody's marriage has not been shaken to a point of, is it this bad? Like,
Yeah.
is it that time? You know?
Yes.
But the way you will pick up from there is what will sustain that marriage or break it.
Yeah.
Because people take things differently. So we've had challenges. We've had money challenges.
Yeah.
That is financial.
Yes.
That is the time that we don't have money. That is the first time when we just got married and I didn't have work. It wasn't easy because we kept on blaming each other.
Yeah.
You need to look for work.
Yes.
You need also,
You are a
support
lawyer.
me, yeah. So everyone is pointing fingers.
Yeah.
Then that was even a very slight one because that one now that was just at the inception. So after giving birth to Tiffany was around, was it 3 years thereabouts? I get pregnant again.
Yeah.
And then I lose that baby at 7 months pregnancy. So this is what happens when I lose the baby. I lose the baby 7 months pregnancy. Like we go to the hospital, it's preterm, the cervix is fully open.
Yeah.
And I have to push the baby out. But the baby came out, gone already.
Oh,
So after 1 month,
that is painful.
yeah, it was a lot.
Because you even the process of pushing.
You don't even want to know. It was a lot. I don't want to talk about the process because it was the darkest time
Yeah.
of my life. I could not believe it. It came so sudden. Like I'd just come on a Friday for clinic. I was told I'm okay. By Saturday evening, we were rushing to the hospital.
Yeah.
I was feeling some pain. But then the pain kept on increasing.
Yeah.
And then I told him, the way this pain is, I think we need to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
By the time we are getting to the hospital, I'm 8 centimeters dilated. I'm almost. So they put that, how is it called? The induction to induce me, the one that you put at the tongue.
Under the tongue, yeah.
So that it comes out very fast because I was in a lot of pain and I think my pressures were also quite high. So they give me that and then I push the baby out, but the baby was gone already. So that's another process. So I go home, I look at my baby's clothes. The first thing is, I have a firstborn daughter, and this was a son.
Oh, so you had bought clothes.
I'd bought clothes. It was 7 months. When I looked at the cloth hanging there, I screamed. It's a whole process. It was very horrific. But even in this morning and screaming, 1 month later, I find out that I'm pregnant.
So
It's against medical.
No, he took care of you.
Yes, he did. But it's against medical.
The doctors. I remember a guy at that time told us,
This shouldn't have happened.
Wait, when I hear a lady talking about losing a child and the process, what is it for a man? Do you feel the pain?
It was so painful that time because I remember that time she was even fasting with pregnancy. And I asked God, why is this happening? And I understood now this is coming from somewhere, of which I shared with her because I analyzed the whole scenario and I discovered this thing. My brothers have gone
It's
through,
a
my
pattern.
sisters have
It's
gone
a
through. It's a
pattern.
pattern, it's a cycle. So, in fact, one of my brothers just died when the wife was giving birth.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait,
so
the man is the one dying. Was the
Yeah,
wife
it
is
was
giving-
an exchange.
Ah,
So I told my wife, this is more spiritual. I think we need to pray it on. No, our reaction was opposite. I have to flee from this
Yes.
because
I'm going to die.
I will die.
That was all in my mind. The next person they're going to kill is me.
yeah.
They will kill me. I need to go.
But this gave us some wisdom. During that, when she got pregnant immediately, we decided to keep quiet about it
Why not share?
and not share and no traveling.
I'm really confused. Oh,
No traveling. And it was worse because that time she was working and I think she was getting around 90,000 per month,
yeah.
which was a very big boost to the family.
Yes.
I had already started my bachelor's in Spark.
Yeah.
So paying per semester was coming to around 80 to 90,000 per semester. And so it was a big hole that we had dug because the
Yeah.
doctor said that this one, now you need bed rests.
Oh, you can't be working.
Let
Yeah,
me
you
let
can't
me
be
let me
Please,
connect because
please
I know
connect, because
I
I'm
know that
confused.
I know that the
Do
way
I look
you know
confused?
the way he talks
He
he will not
goes.
connect you will not connect.
Yeah.
But let me connect the
Please.
dots. So we've lost a baby.
Yes.
Then 1 month later I get pregnant.
Yeah.
I'm told that you need to be on complete bed rest and we need to do what we call McDonald's stage. That is teaching the cervix
That
because
was
the cervix
13
is still
weeks.
open.
Oh, yeah.
So
Wait, I know where we are. Why
Yes.
did we get pregnant?
so I'm mourning.
You're mourning,
So
so
nothing, nothing
You're not
is in
even
my
thinking
head.
you can get
And
it.
actually
Exactly.
that season she was on for family planning.
Uh-huh.
And the
It was immediately
after giving birth.
After
After-
giving
yeah,
birth,
losing
it was
the baby.
immediately.
Oh, it was
It was
immediately.
immediately. But then I was just given one tablet.
Oh, yeah.
So that was just for that.
Uh-huh.
Then I didn't take them again because
Okay.
of course for me to get pregnant I can't be on family planning.
Oh, yeah.
So what happened is that I find out that I'm pregnant now. So what we realized is that during this mchanganyiko,
Yeah.
we forgot about
Family
family
planning.
planning and we forgot about the fact that we need to protect ourselves for
Yes.
my body to heal.
Yeah.
So here we are. There's another
Pregnant.
baby. It wasn't easy, and even medically, they were like, you are not supposed to get pregnant this time.
This time,
It can
it's
harm
too
you.
soon.
It can go with your uterus. You know
Yeah.
all those things. Huh?
Yeah.
I told
You
myself,
get
no,
the
I will
stitch.
I'll carry the pregnancy. So we get the stage. We've agreed we are carrying the pregnancy.
Yeah.
We get the stage, and then we were just
You
there.
leave the job.
Now I'm told you need to be on bed rest.
Bed
So
rest.
this pressure that comes with your work,
Yeah.
because my doctor was just one guy now who took me through for a long time. So he knew already my career, that I'm a lawyer and
Yes.
I do a lot. So he told me the pressure that comes with your career. I'm thinking that you might not need a job right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had to quit my work. So now in our finances, 90,000 is gone.
Gone.
You can imagine.
And you have a baby.
And now I'm here watching,
You have
and
a
we have
child.
Tiffany also.
Yeah.
You know. So now these are challenges. These are
And
like
you know,
from one
during
challenge
this
to
pregnancy,
another.
Yeah.
we were supposed to go to the hospital every week.
Yeah.
Weekly.
For review.
For a checkup.
Check-up, review. Are you okay?
And we were using almost 5,000 to 10,000.
Because we didn't even have a cover.
Mm.
We only had an HIF which could not cover everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it only covers some limited services from the hospital. So now it's just hectic. It's from clinic to a whole process. Sometimes
Yeah.
when you just see bleeding, you don't even understand.
Yeah.
So sometimes I even said, even if I see it, I'll just be seated in the house. I'm just tired. So I'm depressed and pregnant.
Yeah.
And you know, even
And
during...
you are? She's depressed and pregnant. You
Yeah.
are?
Also
stressed.
depressed, yeah.
was
At that
very
time, I was also studying in Park,
Ah.
even in classes. Very tough.
So it was very stressing for the both of
Yeah.
us. And most of the time, when the both of you are stressed, you'll be fighting more than even
Yes,
praying.
you fight a lot.
Because
yeah.
any small thing, there's a reaction.
Triggers, yeah.
But then one day I woke up and I I didn't want the negativity, but the positive part. And I said that if this thing is coming either from family altars or whatever, today they will know that a different breed was brought into this home. We will pray until we will conquer. And we just started praying. I remember it was such a prayerful season. And then now I started seeing hope in my dreams. Instead of seeing the people who beat me, I see when they come beating me, there are people who fight them. So it was now hope. So it's a whole transition, but I can understand that now I have elevated from this spiritual aspect to this other one. And that means that we are getting the victory. So I get to a point that I even dream that it's a boy, yet we had not known. And then I told him, I'm expecting a boy again. We are going to get a boy, which is Emmanuel now. So we go through that process, no money, things are happening, but by the grace of God, there were a lot of medical challenges as well that I can't mention one by one, but there are times they were telling me, oh, the placenta is lying low. See, a lot of aspects. And then now we could just pray off all those things. We pray, and then when you go for a second review, they tell you, who told you that? There's no placenta that is lying low. Sometimes they tell you, oh, we can see the cervix is opening. When you go for a second review, your cervix is okay. Fine. You're fine. So we started exercising faith to another level, to a point that now we conquered that until Emmanuel came. And then Emmanuel came at 36 weeks. I started experiencing labor pains. So they said, because of the process you've gone through, we are going to remove this baby, but we are not sure whether he will be alive.
The doctors were against it.
Because it's 36 weeks. It's preterm.
I told the doctors, you do your work. The baby will be fine. Don't worry about anything. Because we have prayed. And no issue with the lungs or whatever. Just do your job as we have already prayed. And we believe in God. And I remember that time the doctor said that I don't know what kind of church you guys go to, but this is very unprofessional. And so, by the grace of God, we stayed in the hospital for 3 days. That's when they removed the baby.
It was 2 days.
2 days.
2 days, then they removed the baby on the third
day. And so I remember the pediatrician that handled the baby, Emmanuel, on the first time, said there's a very fine boy, very handsome boy, strong boy.
Emmanuel came at 36 weeks with 3.6 kgs.
And remember, on Saturday, Saturday,
3.6,
on Saturday,
yes,
when we took a scan, the baby was weighing 2.7. 2.7. So on Wednesday,
in 1 or 2 days,
where did the weight?
We don't know, but it was
God.
a miracle.
That is God.
We know it was a miracle.
It was a miracle.
And that was during COVID season. So we were so careful. We went home. We left the hospital and went home. And that's when I called my people and told them God has blessed us with our son.
They were shocked.
We are at home.
We never told them.
And in fact, it was
because you never told anyone.
But we wanted to be careful so that if it is a demon we are dealing with, let it come once the baby is here.
Surprise the demon, the baby is here.
But after 1 month, now after Emmanuel has been born, the baby is fine.
4 weeks.
4 weeks now. It was around 7:38, almost 8. And curfew was almost on. She was bathing the baby. So you know how you bathe babies at night so that they can sleep well. They didn't disturb you in the night.
They don't sleep.
Then the boy chokes. And
with something that we don't know. Something was just because I had not even touched the face. I'd like put the baby
facing
down. Then I was just washing the back. All of a sudden the baby just started doing this, and I don't know what's going on.
And he passed on.
And he just did this, like no life. Nothing. The baby is not breathing. Nothing. He's quiet completely.
Wait.
And the body was so stiff and
cold.
Very cold.
While you were bathing the boy.
Yes.
At that time, we had sold our first car.
You're saying it like I wasn't expecting
because we
that
have talked
at all.
about it.
You've talked about it.
I think by now we have just outgrown it.
Passed on.
This is 5 years ago. No, Emmanuel didn't pass on. Emmanuel is alive. That is another testimony. That
He
same
came
Emmanuel
back to
that we are
life.
talking about.
We prayed.
Emmanuel is
him
very
back.
alive. So
I'm
we
really confused.
Okay, we
Let me
start
take
praying.
water. You are washing the baby.
The baby starts like, let me just use the word convulsing. The baby starts doing the hands like this and the legs.
Then he went silent.
And then he just went
called.
silent. You are doing the hand like this.
Yeah.
Nothing. And then I told him that the baby is cold.
Yeah.
Then I threw the baby at him.
And everyone in the house was
And
crying.
everyone in the house had already started crying.
The baby is normal.
So he holds the baby and you can see he's very tense. So we know it's a bad situation.
Yeah.
So he started praying. We called our spiritual dad. You know, I was the one calling.
When I
very
was
tense.
praying.
Yeah.
So I come back. He tells me, go touch the baby. How are you feeling? I told the baby is just lying.
Yeah.
The baby is gone. Like
That time I was holding the baby in my hands.
yeah, but he was holding the baby and praying still in
Yeah.
tongues. So he told me, go take water and pray over that water. Decree the following words. I speak life and whatever over the water. Then we sprinkle on the baby as he was praying. Because he had prayed almost 30 minutes. So, then Emmanuel just coughs and looks at
He
us
sneezed
smiling.
and came back.
And that's how the boy is still alive up to today.
That's why we call him Apostle Emmanuel
And
Machine.
we call him
Emmanuel
Apostle.
Mshindi.
Yeah.
So it wasn't
How old is Emmanuel now?
It's
5
years
years
now.
now.
Wow.
Very handsome. I wish we could have carried him. But anyways, so you can see it's a whole challenge. And I know a lot of couples go through this thing. People are going
Yes.
through these things in their homes.
And you know the way you are talking, for some it's just normal. We lost, my brother also lost. How did you realize this is a spiritual war, this warfare?
It's a warfare and it's a family pattern.
Yeah.
So he was the one who, when we lost our baby,
Yeah.
he was just calling, telling them the news.
Yeah.
And then everyone is just telling you. I think it was God that had positioned them to talk that way so that he gets that information.
Yeah.
Because he prayed first, then he started calling. Then he calls one, tells him, even I lost second-born boy. Another one, we lost second-born boy. Oh, you remember Mama so-and-so also lost. In fact, the second-born boy died. Can you see that's a pattern?
Yeah.
In fact,
Second-born
the worst scenarios
boy.
were that they die and they begin to rot.
Not even in the stomach. Yeah, that was now even the worst. So it is second-born boy. It's a family thing. We have already known. So
And where do we
have
get
the
the root?
knowledge. Now you can't know the root. Because some of these things, how will you know? You see the way you see family, they
Yeah.
even, now how will you know the pattern? You can't know.
So
You
we
don't
have
know the
is
genesis,
power to
but
pray.
we have the power to pray. That's all. So we know it's a pattern and we know it's bad.
Yeah.
And we now want to confront it. So we are here watching all manner of things to confront family curses and cultures.
Yeah.
And the first time we started praying warfare, we realized it's not working. And when warfare is not working, God is silent. You know that you might need to seek for mercy because maybe it has a legal background. And anything that has a legal background, it is only mercy you can ask for. You can't go to fight something that is saying continue. It's looking at you. Pray. This one has a legal background. And until you seek for the mercies of God to intervene over your specific situation. So we started from mercy. Then after we had felt like now it's time, because the Spirit of God will lead you, that is now time to go for warfare. Now the veil, the thing has been broken. So we started confronting everything using the word of God and reminding the devil that Jesus already took these things for us and that it's not going to work. And now we were decreeing words of our life. No weapon fashioned against us will prosper.
Just the two of
and
you.
just the two of us. We are praying. And our spiritual dad then was also helping us a lot because he kept on reminding us. When he's sensitized about something, he shares, and we pray about it. So, anyways, we pray and we feel or we believe that this thing was actually broken. Because now we got back our boy. That is what we believe. Because for most people most people that lose the boys, they get girls. It is only us that got a boy back. And we told God we don't want anything less than another boy. We want total restoration. And that is what we got. So we believe that one was already gone, and even our children will not suffer those kinds of things. And we battled it in the place of prayer. We could have chosen to fight or leave. I could have decided to leave finally, but I said no. This is a challenge, and we are going to fight it. And that is sometimes some of the challenges that people can actually face in marriages, where you find that you got married to a family maybe with some sickness, strange sicknesses.
Now, you will not, how will you know?
You'll never know. Some of them unapatanga too. You get them there. And even you know, you'll get them there.
Or
Most people who are
maybe-
married, they'll tell you, I just got this thing here.
Yeah.
I never knew it. People, like, this is what people go through.
Yeah.
But then the problem is that most people, when they find out that this is something that is happening, they quit. They say, you
quit.
know, me, I'm going. I'm
They
going.
have
But
discovered things
if-
about their family.
and I can't stay.
And I can't
you know,
stay, yeah.
but it's always challenging. Challenges
Yes,
will come.
yes.
But how you pick them, it is not like the trials will not come. Actually, we are assured that they will come. But how you pick them is what will determine your failure or your success.
Yeah.
But for me, even when the attacks came, I always went to rethink. And then when I rethink, I realize that the Spirit of God begins to speak to you the right words. And then you say, I think this is just the devil speaking. Then you cancel it. So I
Yeah.
cancel it. And we continued. So I stay with this, my salon, for around 3 months.
Yeah.
3
Then
months.
God opens
A door.
a door at a law firm.
Oh.
And that was the beginning of everything that we have now.
Yeah. Oh. So you went back to the law firm.
I went back to the law firm. And later, of course, I got corporate where I am right now.
Uh-huh.
But the truth of the matter is that from the time I was working, that is those years, to now, it was almost 100 times. Like the multiplication was obvious. It's
Yeah.
like the restoration in Job 42
Yes.
that Job got.
Yes.
It was a total restoration of double and 100-fold.
Yeah.
Like it was nothing that, it was no money that I've ever seen before.
Seen before, yeah. I
Opportunities
think
that,
God rewards us when we obey and refuse
Yes.
to quit.
Mm.
I agree with you.
You agree with me?
I agree with you.
Because I'm thinking of how many, let me just say women for now,
Yes.
but also men would
Yes.
quit. You had reasons to quit.
A lot.
A lot.
A lot. There were family patterns that wanted to kill us.
Yeah. You
There were
lost.
losses that
There
wanted to
were
kill
two
us.
babies lost.
Yes, yes. So it was a lot. It was a lot to take in.
You saw your child coming back to life.
Yes.
Now I would take him
And you
alive
know, even
and
at,
run.
of course, I mean, let me go. They are coming for me. They are coming for me. It's my life.
Save
Yes.
yourself.
Yeah. Let
There's
me
no
save
money.
myself. And you know, at that time when you call your family, they'll be like, get out.
Get out,
And
yeah.
you have a career. Go.
Yes.
Go, be going. Because these people are going to kill you. It is you. I've seen your coffin. I was hearing phone calls like those ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have seen your coffin. It's coming. You will die anytime. They want to kill you. They have sacrificed you already. Your head is already there. So it was a lot of things, including rejection from family,
Yeah.
even sometimes church. Because before we opened our ministry is when we lost the baby. So it was a lot. Because even church, some people will look at you like,
You're like, hey.
you are sinners. You are sinners. And I remember people
You're a
parted
partners.
ways for some people.
Yeah.
No
Parted,
time.
they parted ways with us. Like there is something wrong
I don't want
with
to be
us.
associated with
I
this
don't want to be
family.
associated with the spirit of
Yeah.
death. You know, family also sometimes they say, oh, I don't want to be associated with the spirit of death, so no one is coming to see you. They don't want to be near you. So it was a lot to take in. But in the process of that, sometimes God isolates us for
Yeah,
a good reason.
for a good
And that is the reason why God isolated me specifically during that season.
Yeah.
And I believe it brought out, as the Bible says in the book of James, the spirit of maturity and endurance and patience.
Yeah.
Because that's what it says, that when we face diverse temptation and trials, we should be joyful.
Yeah.
Because it brings out
Consider it
endurance, endurance, you know, patience, you know,
yeah.
and all that. So you begin to be you endure with a lot,
Yeah.
but then it gives you a lot of strength that really takes you through the journeys of life. So even as at the time the ministry was coming, I believe that the isolation or
Yeah.
the segregation
Yeah.
was just to birth out that ministry, because now it was easier to handle the forces and the attacks and the things that come with ministry, because ministry is not very easy.
Oh, yeah.
Because now you are dealing with other people. Now this is not your household.
Yes.
Yeah, you are dealing with other people, and it comes with a lot. The betrayals, the whatever, the people rejecting you. But if you have faced this before, it is easy. You navigate very easy. It never kills your spirit.
Yeah.
It doesn't kill your spirit. So those are some of the challenges that we faced. But then we thank God that God took us through, gave us the grace, and we never were suicidal or wanted to kill ourselves. Because I tell people, sometimes when they come in the church, I ask them, is this what you want to commit suicide over? This is very small. I mean, now when you get a young person who want to commit suicide, and then you're like, it is only a heartbreak that want to kill you. Some of us, we had many reasons that we could have used to die, and it's justifiable. It's justifiable for you to die.
Understand.
So you just a small heartbreak, you want to die. How faint can you be at heart for you to die over a small
Would you
thing?
say the same for marriage?
In terms of?
You meet people and you hear the reason why the woman wants to go back home.
Yes, and I think it's petty.
And you think it's petty?
Yes, I always have that reaction. Because I feel like, I mean, why? If it is about your husband, pray for him.
Yes.
You chose this man this way. You knew he was drinking alcohol. You knew he was going through this. And you chose him, and you say God will change him.
Another woman.
And you knew all that. You know, you knew he had a kid somewhere. Why is it that it is now that it's a problem? You know, pray for him, embrace him, walk with him through the journey. Because that is supposed to be what we need to do in marriage. Because it is not the purpose and the will of God for us to divorce. So it is for you to be there and survive through the process, through trusting God in every challenge that comes and in every process. So sometimes women come and you're like, that's very petty. I mean, if we, and they know, they usually tell me that, oh, you know, you if we tell you,
you have a good man.
You have a good man. And they don't know where you got that man. Because when we met, in fact, we didn't say the nitty gritty. He wasn't the way he looks now. He used to wear some boots that looks like a watchman. Safety boots. And I remember one day I was coming with my colleagues from Mombasa and he was coming to meet me. And I looked at the way he was dressing and I told my colleague that you are going to meet my boyfriend. I told him I've not seen him. Because the way he was dressed, I had to ignore him. But then now, later...
He comes to you smiling with his dimples.
with his dimples. But later, I was like, okay, I can sort this thing out. Can we go to Isili? Let's dress you up. There's a reason why I chose you, the way you look, because you are my type of man. Because remember, physique, also, we look at physique. There are people who prefer short, there are people who prefer tall, dark, and whatever. So I was like, I think this physique can look good with Nigerian attire. So
we will package him.
We will package him. And this is the packaging. So I didn't reject him for what he was wearing. But when he used to come to church, I remember my sisters used to say, that man, let him not come and sit here with his red top and blue jeans always. Kwani hana nguo ingine? But I was like, haki musimtreat people. The guy is just trying. The guy is just trying, you know. And then now we just had to change his wardrobe over time. And this is the product.
Look at him now.
So it is just how we look at life. So I believe that by the time it reaches that divorce, it has to be, it is beyond you. It is beyond you, or it's taking the place of God. And especially if it is taking the place of God. Because remember, Jesus said, if you will love husband and wife more than me, you don't have a part in me. So if it is taking the place of God, then it is important for you to call it quit. And that's what I always tell people. If it is taking the place of God, because remember, and I know, maybe even for you in your years of experience, you've seen people who, they tell you that their husband can't allow them to serve, they can't pray in the house, they can't do anything,
go to church on
or
Sunday.
Maybe their wives can't also allow them, both sides. So if that is the case, I always tell him that the day you will wake up and tell me not to serve God, then I think then I will have a justifiable reason before God to leave you. Because I'll tell God, I've left my husband to serve you. So maybe I might not get remarried again. But I will do it for God. But if it is something that is workable, I believe we can work and we can talk it out. It doesn't have to get there.
From a pastor's perspective, why are marriages failing?
I think I'd say number one, lack of understanding, lack of boundaries. Because when couples understand each other and know to which limits they can go to. Because one of the things I discovered that many couples do have is that finances. We work together as a team. But most of the time we find that couples will fight because of stupid things. And by just speaking, people change. People do the right thing. You see your man is misbehaving, talk to him, sit down, and just the today's society, we have, I believe that we have to address issues by shouting. For me, I always tell her that when she's high, I will be low. So, and when I'm high, she's low.
How low?
Just keep quiet, manage it, and we don't do it in front of children. I will wait when everything is calm, and I tell her, now, this thing we are talking about, we need to handle it. And most of the time we do it when we are calm in the morning and we are driving, and we're driving to work. That's when now we start addressing issues. Because that time, if anyone wants to shout, he can shout, and we embrace each other, and we go back to normal. Come back in the evening very happy. No one knows that we were fighting. There was a problem. The children know that our parents are okay. Yeah.
Well, what I'm picking is if I want my spouse to grow in a certain area, I should be the number one giving them the support they need. Whether it is physical appearance, whether it's career, I should be the one giving them that support.
Sure.
And by the way, when I went to Park University, I wanted to do theology.
Yeah.
We were for, now that I'm a pastor, let me do theology. And she told me, no, I think you can do well with psychology. And I'm loving it actually. I told myself, no, I'm loving when I'm dealing with clients, I'm loving it. How I integrate it now with the ministry, it is becoming more fun. So she's the one who even sacrificed. She was supposed to go for her master's, and she said, no, we have to move together. Go and do your bachelor's, and
so
now she goes.
The level you want.
Remember now, I got him as a diploma holder. I'm a degree. And right now we talk about this very openly because he is now going to graduate. He's finished and he's graduating in July. So we are very happy about it. And personally, I'm very happy. Because now I'll be like, my family, now I have the degree holder that you are looking for. So what is there to talk about? But anyway, at the end of the day, it's just you help each other. You support each other.
Push each
in
other.
anything, push each other. If you see somebody analegeza, we push each other in prayer. We push each other in eating healthy. Because we both have big bodies. So sometimes we are like, hey, I've seen this miracle juice. Can we blend this? And they drink together. Oh, maybe we do some lemon together. And I blend and we do it together. Okay, oh, I'm seeing we are adding some weight. We buy a treadmill, let's be running. Together. And we wake up in the morning, like today we ran the treadmill. So we are like, let's do it together. We are always doing it together. And one thing he mentioned that is very key, and I know is breaking a lot of marriages, is even money. Ever since us we got married, and when we got married, niliacha job after 1 month, you remember. But the first basha nilipewa, I brought to him. And I told him, you are my head. And the Bible says that I'm supposed to submit to you with everything that I have and everything that I am. So I brought him and he was shocked. He even cried.
The
first paycheck. And we are just new. I told him, in your MPESA nimepewa, though now the job is gone because they didn't retain me. I was a pupil. There's this program that we go through and then maybe sometimes they retain you or they don't. So I was part of the people they didn't retain. So I told him, this is the paycheck. What do you think we need to do with it? You decide and me, I'll just follow. And do you know, for 9 years, we have practiced that now. Even now that I am way above that amount. Right now, I still do the same thing. And I will say it without an iota of doubt that it has worked for me. Maybe somebody else, it might not work for them. Because even when we advise couples, we tell them, who is the person that manages money better? And what can work for you. But for us, it has worked for us to combine everything that we have and take it as, I'm just putting finances also inside, and take it as it is ours. But not at in yako.
The two shall become one.
So even if it is money, even right now, if I get a contract somewhere, do something, get maybe let's say tentatively 100,000, I'll bring it on the table and I'll ask him, what should we do? Then he'll tell me, by the way, we were to do the following, and then I'll tell him, I was also to do this. He'll tell me, take 20, the 80 maybe we put it on investment. And as long as we trust each other and there is accountability, then it just goes well. And there's a time, of course, people used to discourage me. But the truth is, for me, it has worked for me for 9 years. So I believe that it will still work. And it is working. So maybe you just need to choose openness. That's what I'm saying. Just choose openness, whatever works for you, even in your finances. Because you can't work the way we work. That's something I've come to know.
Yeah.
It
You have
can
your
work
own
differently
beliefs.
for another. There are men who don't trust themselves with money. They give to their wives.
Yes.
So that also still is okay. For us, I trust him. As long as we do everything together and write a list together on what we want to achieve, or in terms of financial implication,
Yeah.
and then we put it together and put our heads together, and it works. So I believe that is just to be open to each other.
Yeah.
But then one thing that I have learned when you are talking about the aspect here, what do you think marriages does not work?
Yeah.
There is one elephant that I have actually noticed in terms of for some couples that we have worked with,
Yeah.
what we have watched, and also for being pastors, what we have seen,
Yeah.
and maybe out there what we have seen. Most people don't look at compatibility when they get married.
That's true.
It's the elephant in the room.
What is
It is
compatibility?
it is the elephant in the room.
In which areas are we supposed to be compatible?
All round.
You know, there's a way you coordinate with each other,
Yeah.
even during courtship,
Yes.
that will make you know we are going far.
But we're in love.
Idea-wise, no.
I think there is the difference between love and just using your head. Because you can love, you can love, you can
Yeah.
choose to love me. But now maybe hate, let's say the lady who came here.
Yeah.
Not really hate, but you don't click.
Yes,
Not really
yeah.
hate by the, let me not use it because I'm a Christian.
We don't
But
connect.
you don't just connect.
Yes.
But there are two people that connect. The way
Yeah.
they do their things, and that is why even courtship is important. The way they do their things, the way they coordinate with each other, they think, the way they converse.
Yes.
We have seen people who they are conversing with each other and they are too warfare oriented. It's a horror movie when you
Yeah.
watch them talk to each other, and yet they are still dating.
Yeah.
So sometimes you'll call one on the side and tell the person, this is a red
This
flag.
is a red flag.
You need to walk
You
out.
are a red flag.
And what is killing
In fact, there is a
lot of-
couple that came to us in the office the other day, and the man was telling us that the lady is already complaining,
Yeah.
and the man was telling us, I want now to be serious and marry her. And we're asking, are you comfortable with each other? The lady is not comfortable.
Yeah.
And she told the lady, run very fast.
Run for your life. And okay, for me, people know me for speaking very
Yeah.
boldly,
Yeah.
because that's how first I was brought up.
Oh, you are the one who told the lady
Yes,
to
run for your life in front of the man. Yeah, like just run for your life. This is a very big red flag.
Yes.
But I think the compatibility aspect, I've seen it so many times. When people are compatible, it is easier for them to coordinate and
Yeah.
relate.
Reason
Because I have
together.
seen incompatible people so many times. The marriage never works. And right now, I think we have people, almost 5 couples around us, that their marriages are not working. But the major issue is just that.
They're not compatible.
They are not. Because even you will find...
Can we work
they
on
even,
compatibility?
I don't know. I don't even
Now
have an
someone
answer
is
for
already
it.
married.
If someone is willing to adjust
Change
Yeah.
and change,
Yeah.
I believe it's something that can
Can
be.
be maybe you seek counseling
Yeah.
and all that, but you always find somebody is very rigid among the two.
Yes.
Somebody is extremely rigid among the two. They don't want to
It is
flex.
you who should
They don't
change,
want to
not
flex. You change, me I don't want to change. And I think it's usually a red flag when you are doing courtship or you are dating, and the people don't see it. They just overlook it and then later realize, I can't live with
It's
this
trouble.
person.
Yeah.
I can't. It's impossible.
Or you saw a sign and you ignored it.
And many times you saw it, but then you just decided no. So I think that is for the people that are unmarried.
Yeah.
They really need to watch out for that. Look at the way you coordinate with somebody as you date, the things they say.
Yeah.
Do they go well with you? The way they behaved, does it go? Those are the compatibilities.
Yeah.
Does it drive your vision,
Yeah.
or is it something that will kill your vision? If somebody is already saying you are a career woman, you want to work on your career, because me, I'm a career woman,
Yeah.
and I told him from day one,
Yeah, my
and
lawyer.
he told me that I'm going to help you. I will never stop you from anything you want to
Yes.
achieve. And any time I'm getting bigger opportunities, he's always like, congrats,
Good,
go for
yeah.
them. Go, do whatever you want to do. I always tell him I want to be the Chief Justice one day,
see?
because I've seen 2 women sit there. That means
Yes.
that the platform is now open for us. So I know that one day, if I want it,
very
if it is the will of God, we will get there.
Yeah.
But he always tells me, when that time comes, I will be here. I will encourage you. So he has never stopped me from working. So you are dating somebody who is already saying, me, I want my woman to sit in the house, and I'll give him money. And you think that he will change that. He will never change. You will get to the house and he will want you to sit.
Yes.
Then you begin to be frustrated. So there is a lot of things that you watch out for. And I believe that it works when you watch out for them early.
Yes.
But when it comes to marriage, because we have said God is pro-marriage, it is important to work on it. Once you realize that we are not compatible, there are things that are not just working. Seek for counseling. See whether you can talk to your pastors. Try work it out, because children maybe sometimes are already involved and all that. And, you know, we all know what the Bible says about divorce. And we don't want to go down that road. Even for us that we are just 9 years, we are praying and hoping that it will go to another 9 years and another 9 and another 9 as we celebrate God's goodness.
Amen. We have to wind up. The last one, what do you think is the key to a healthy marriage, according to your own experience?
I would say number one is just trust, unity, trust each other, believe in each other, and work together as a team. Don't see your partner as an enemy or a competition. I've never seen it as a competition, because I have my own capacity. I'm a pastor. She has her own ministry too. There is no way we will fight. I allow her to preach at the church. There is no way I will come and again and say that now. You see what? Read again the scripture and correct. No, we don't do that. So when couples understand to support each other, work together as a team, that is now when the marriage will be more productive. But the opposite of it, there is nothing that can come out that is clean. And you say now that someone says that I like that marriage, or I like how they're doing it.
Oh, what about you? What keeps a marriage?
I would wrap it up by saying that build your marriage on God. And everything else will work. Because God, the Spirit of God will give us, is the Spirit of wisdom. And He'll give us the wisdom. If you are the wife, the Bible says that a wise woman builds her home. So the wisdom will come from above. It can't come from any other place. So when you build your marriage based on a godly foundation and trust God in the process. God is the one who brought this thing. He knows the secret. He knows the secret. Put Him at the center. He will give you every secret that you need for you to move to the next level. And for every challenge and for everything that comes, put God first. To add on everything He has said, the top on the list is put God first. When the two of you pray together, you have a godly foundation. The demons that come, they'll just scatter. Challenges will come, they will scatter, because they already face people who already know God. Because now when you appear, there is light, because you already have that light inside of you. So when you appear as a couple of light, darkness will not have way. It will have to give way in that marriage. And that is the light that every other couple need to seek for. Because I believe it has worked for us from day one, when we started holding hands and creating a family altar, until we put fire on that altar until it started working. So even when challenges come, we go through them, because God gives us wisdom, and God comes with His light that makes every darkness that attacks marriages, because darknesses are there, and we have talked about them, family, nini, fighting with each other, attacking each other. But when the darkness comes, when you come with light after prayer, the darkness will go, because now light has already come. And I believe that any marriage that is based on God's foundation can never fail. It can never fail, because that God is not a God of failure. It will always go, and it will always, because the paths of a righteous man are like a shining light that shineth brighter and brighter onto a perfect day. So we live a glorious marriage, not a marriage of shame, because it is not His purpose that we should live with shame, but with glory, as Isaiah says. So for me, that's what I'll say, that above all, putting our godly foundation on it. It will work for all of us. We put all the other secrets, but then God will help us in all that.
Amen. That is my take home. God. You seek Him first. Put Him first. Everything else falls into place. Invite us to your church.
I take this opportunity to invite you to City of Life Sanctuary. We are in Udhiru Junction, next to Lyric Business Center. Our services run from 9 a.m. up to 1. And we also have on Friday an evening service.
Okay, that is Sunday.
That is Sunday and Friday.
So if you are in Udhiru and its environs, or even outside you'd like to visit, karibuni. The name is
City of Life.
City of Life Sanctuary. Asanteni sana. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You have really inspired us to look to God in everything, and we stick there with God. Sometimes we try sticking there with our own power and strength. It never works. But with God, there's nothing that He cannot do. There's no curse He cannot break. So thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for your wisdom and for sharing your journey. May God bless you. May God continue covering your marriage and your family. And we are praying that we'll come back here even with bigger and bigger testimonies.
Amen.
And we'll do that wedding 10 years with a good gown.
We have to.
Yes.
We have to revenge.
Yes, let's do that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching. What has stood out for you? Would love to know that. Comment below, share this video. Let the world know this other side of marriage that is working. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, this is a good opportunity to do so as well. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.